This is John Jackson Miller, writer of Star Wars comics and novels, and you're listening to Star Wars with Stevie B. May the Force be with you.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome. My guest on today's show, he's one of the few that inspired me to create a channel and start doing this. And the way that you read and review books and the summaries that you give is just incredible. It's bold and to the point, and it's great. And Red 5, you got a copy?
Right by, standing by. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing great, and thanks for the kind words, man. And I just wanted to say thanks. It's great to be on the channel, and just really happy that your channel is really taking off. I mean, it's really well deserved, and again, just glad to be on.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm glad we've been talking for a while, actually, just through messaging and keeping in touch. And everybody's got a life and things happening, and that's the way it goes. And yeah, I'm glad that we finally got this, and I can bring this to everyone. And I appreciate those kind words, man. And I just want to say welcome back. I know you stepped away for a little bit.
Yeah, I had some, just family stuff and everything. Just had a baby recently. Like she just turned 1, but it was just like went through a phase of not sleeping, and then I got a new job, so schedule got out of whack. So yeah.
No, I know how it is to have kids for sure. But yeah, I'm glad you're back. You got a new logo too. It's really fantastic, man. I dig it a lot. It's really cool.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I was trained to kind of do these logos from Matthew from the Geek Set. He's really big on logos and thumbnails and everything, so he was kind of my mentor in that.
Yeah, that it's real. I like it a lot.
No,
and you mentioned Matthew from the Geek Static. I was going to say you, Matthew, and then Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions. You kind of do a paper movies channel as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we collect, read, and review novelizations or movie tie-ins, and we just kind of do like a podcast every month or so with some special episodes in between where we just kind of review the novelization and just kind of compare it to the film, what's different, what's the same, and it's a lot of fun, and it's starting to, it's starting to pick up from since we've just got it started. We're just happy, appreciative of all the people following and everything. It's great, and we got a great season ahead of us. So
yeah, it's interesting. I like it, and I bought a couple of the movie novelizations and such after listening to you guys. So I wanted to plug that channel because I know you're involved with that too. And that's
thank you for the shout out.
It needs to be out there. So let's start. Let's go from the beginning, Adam. Let's talk about when you were a trainee and then to the journey to becoming the X-Wing pilot that you are.
Well, I honestly, it's my first Star Wars: A New Hope was the very first movie that I remember seeing in theaters when they did the special edition re-release back in the early '90s, and I just was enamored with it. It was just a fantastic movie, and I love the X-Wing battles at the end, and I also say that movie was kind of the movie that gave me my first nightmare because I got a little uneased by seeing Luke's aunt and uncle, their their burned corpses and everything, and so that. But it was just I just loved following the films from there, and I haven't actually read the books until a few years back, right when they announced the Force Awakens. But it's just I love the films. I loved the Clone Wars show and the video games, and that's just mostly what I grew up on. And after I got started on YouTube a couple of years ago, I mostly was just wanting to do film reviews and maybe a book review here and there. But I met with Matthew and Jeremy and Matt Wilkins and others, and I started to build a love for Star Wars Legends, and I just wanted to collect all of these books. And it took me a while, but I finally collected all of them, and I was just like, well, I want to start my own Star Wars channel to where I just read and review everything Star Wars and just keep the other stuff on my other channel. So yeah, and here we are.
All right. So A New Hope is what started it all for you, you would say, the whole journey.
That's right.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, out of the three, original trilogy films, is there a favorite that I mean, is New Hope your favorite?
It's not my favorite film. It's the most nostalgic, but I think my favorite of all of them is Empire.
Yeah.
And I normally always like to watch. Every time I watch Empire, it's just I have to watch Return of the Jedi. It's just I can't not watch Empire without watching that. But it's definitely one of my favorites. It's I ranked them recently, just like none of the films in the original trilogy I consider bad, but Empire is probably my favorite because I was a little older when I saw it when it came out in theaters, so I was just like more enamored with the story. So
yeah, I understood it a little better. Yeah, and then, like you said, it's almost like you have to watch both of them back to back because it's like one fluent kind of story. Where like A New Hope is it's got its beginning, middle, and end in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you talked about the butcher, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru all burnt there. Yeah, that was pretty heavy in them films.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting, like I hadn't seen very much, like when I was a kid I hadn't seen that much violence, I should say.
Right.
Like whenever I watched it and I just saw like charred skeletons, I was just like, what the? And I mean, after that though, I was kind of more desensitized to it, I guess. But yeah, it was pretty heavy, but that scene in general, it was just like, with John Williams' score and just kind of Mark Hamill's acting, it just really, made the scene.
Yeah, it was pretty, spot on there. What about the prequels? When you went to the theater, I'm sure, to see them, yeah?
Oh yeah. The only nope, I was about to say the only one that I didn't see in theaters was Phantom Menace, but that's not true. I actually did. I just yeah, I enjoyed the prequels. I was just I was probably like around second, third grade at the time when they came out, and I was just like, I love the lightsaber combat because I remembered at that time just like, man, they're actually flipping around and getting really intense with it, and yet I went to all the prequels in theaters, and I remember with Attack of the Clones, like they had to stop the movie because two people were getting into a fight in the theater.
Really?
And yeah, and then like we were just looking back, and I was just like starting to freak out. My dad was just like saying, "It's all right, calm down, calm down, calm down." And then like security got involved and started wrestling them both out of there, and I think the police got involved. And then they're like, "Hey, sorry, we'll turn it back on." And then so they rewound it a bit, and so we finished the movie no problem. But then Revenge of the Sith was where we started to get the like, it was like the typical like reaction that you would get from seeing a Star Wars film, like where the opening music comes, everybody's applauding and hyped up and everything.
Yeah.
And those were just great times. I just loved being able to go see the films, with my dad and everything. And then it was just great that we got to, relive those experiences again.
Yeah. Is your parents a fan of Star Wars? Like, did they get you involved?
I'm not really 100% sure. My mom, I think she likes them, but my dad, yeah, he likes Star Wars. We went to, like I said, we went to the films. It's mostly like my oldest brother is a huge fan of Star Wars, and he actually introduced me to some of the Legends books. I think the first Legends book that I read was one that he recommended. It was Shadows of the Empire, and he was going on about that, but he's like, dude, you got to read it. You got to read it. It's so great. It goes through like so much detail. So yeah.
So okay. Well, that's interesting. And you're a true fan. Jumping back to when you were talking about they had to stop the film and you're getting in a fight. Do you know what they were fighting about at all? Or
I honestly don't.
No.
I'm not sure why they were fighting. All I just heard was like it was the Battle of Geonosis, and it was like Mace Windu was about to decapitate Jango Fett, and then all of a sudden we just heard people screaming and shouting, and we were just like, wait. And then like I turn around and then I just see people just fighting down the steps and everything.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Out of the prequels, which one is like your go-to favorite?
I would probably say Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there specific reason why?
I just I liked the impact of it. Like Attack of the Clones is probably my least favorite. I mean, I do consider it, essential to like watching the prequels.
Yeah.
But it was just when I first watched and everything, I watched it probably like 2 or 3 times after that. It was just very intense, like very heavy. Like, the fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan, yeah.
was, even even after like watching it several times, like it's still like very emotionally heavy.
Yeah, it is a pretty deep, especially like you said, the battle with Obi-Wan and Anakin and that emotion that takes place. Like I even still get kind of chills when I watch that scene.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad. It's truly sad.
Yeah, it very is. And like me and my wife watch we make it a point to watch either this is like have a Star Wars marathon like once a year.
Yeah.
And we like that's always like one of our favorite go-to movies. Like we try to watch them all in order, and then once we get to there though, we're just like all hyped up and everything, and it's just still like very like we still like have chats about it like after the movie, just like like getting in depth discussions with it and everything. It's just I really enjoyed it, and I think it's a great film, lots of nostalgia and everything.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like Attack of the Clones, and that's cool that your wife is involved, and I like that. I'm starting to get my wife involved, so
yeah, that's really awesome. I saw that she's been on some of your episodes recently.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we were just trying to do something, just something to connect with your spouse and enjoy Star Wars and
mine has been considering hopping on here because she's read her favorite character is Padme, and she read the Padme trilogy.
Oh yeah,
and she's considering reviewing those, so I might have her on soon.
You should, for sure, 100%. You should do it. That's great. You tell her I said go ahead.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah. But back to Attack of the Clones for a second. Like I'm currently reading the novelization, and it's like to me so far, it's like it's made the film. Like I want to go watch the film now, even though I know it's adding so much to it. Okay, I don't know if you read it or not yet.
I have actually. I reviewed it on my my first channel that I did, that I started, and I still have that up. But I reviewed it there, and I really did enjoy all of the additional, like with the Tatooine farmers, like in the Tusken Raiders. But other than that, that was one that I actually was not a huge fan of. But I didn't like. It wasn't like I didn't think it was like horrible. I don't know. I think I was just comparing it too much to the film, and it was just I don't know. It just kind of was a little slow for me. But
yeah. No, I can kind of see what you're saying. Yeah, I haven't watched the films I haven't done my little yearly or what have you every couple months watch through. So I mean, it's been a minute since I watched it. So that's awesome that I don't, you know what I mean? Like you remember it, but it's not one of my favorites of the prequels either. But the book is helping me. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I do consider the book a lot better than the film.
Yeah. Okay. Now, what did you think about the sequel trilogy?
The sequel trilogy, I was, really hyped up for it whenever they announced it. I guess I knew about the stories in the expanded universe. I just never read the books. I had like a little chronology book that I had, and I read about, Han and Leia's kids and, Mara Jade and everything and Thrawn. But I guess I was mostly prepared to compare it to that, and just we got something completely different.
Yeah.
And I mean, I enjoyed the experiences of going and seeing all these Star Wars films. It's just the last two, just it didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But I still, like I said, I enjoyed going. I had a good time. I do enjoy like some of the other films that the new canon, like Rogue One. I thought was great. Solo is fun.
Oh, I know.
But I just kind of felt like they just kind of missed the mark on the last two films.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'm not like after reading some of the getting into the expanding universe and legends, like the stories feel real, which we'll get to with you because Shadows of the Empire was your first, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the films didn't really. I got to rewatch them, and I want to watch them with my wife because she hasn't really watched them all, So I want to do that with her, and then. But Solo is probably my favorite movie they've done so far out of all the Disney, 2014 stuff.
Yeah, I do love Solo. And that actually, whenever I heard that was coming out, I bought they have a collector's edition of the Han Solo trilogy at Barnes and Noble, and I bought that and I read it. And I was kind of like throughout the film, like picking up like all of the Easter eggs from the books and everything.
Things that stand out, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, so the sequels didn't really hit it for me, didn't hit it for you. What about the Disney Plus shows? You keeping up on like Mando and?
I have not had time to start The Mandalorian. I haven't watched The Bad Batch either. I just like watching TV shows is a little hard for me because, with my work schedule and parenting,
Yes.
I watch them whenever I can, but it's
Yeah.
like never in time to where I can get like a review out for them. But I finished the Clone Wars, the season 7 that we got, and I have watched the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian and of Boba Fett, and I think we're about to start this 3rd season of The Mandalorian soon.
Okay, good, yeah. It's something I am excited. Mando kind of brought it back for me, so. So we got that little bit of a journey with you here. Now you mentioned your cousin got you into the books, back into the legend stuff, right?
Oh yeah, my brother. Yeah, he.
Oh, your brother. I'm sorry, your brother.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, he. Like I was about to. The first Star Wars book I ever read was a canon book. It was Lords of the Sith, but like my brother was just like, dude, you really got to read this, and then that's kind of I think what introduced me like how that was different. Like I thought that. Like it had the Legends timeline, the banner on top of it, and I was just like, oh, what's the difference? Like, oh, okay, this is what was originally published before Disney bought it, and and I read it, and it was a great novel. Like, I was like, I couldn't put it down because like I enjoyed it, and I liked how they go into like detail of Luke building his lightsaber, the search for finding Han and trying to rescue him from Jabba, and it was great. Then after that, I just kind of wanted to. This kind of keep moving forward with the Legends timeline, and just because these were books that came out during our generation, right. And it's just I never read them, and I'm just catching up on them. But as far as like just the Legends timeline, I don't know, like whenever I watch these films, like and I read these books, I kind of feel like they better connect, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100% agree with that statement because that's exactly how I feel. And I came into it that way too. Like I knew about them when I was growing up. I read a few here and there, but never, I was more the toy, watch the films kind of kid growing up. So when I found out like this is Disney bought it, like that was big news. I knew that happened, but I still wasn't into the fandom, like I am now. So I was like, what? Yeah, that don't make sense. And then I came across, some YouTubers and they explained some stuff. And then I'm like, well, that's crazy. But reading these books, it feels like they should have been like, you can visually see it. Like it's legit, it's there. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree with you. Yeah.
I know that was a long trail and I'm long-winded there after that, but yeah, it was, so, and I read some of the new canon stuff too. And some of it's good. Like I can watch them in parallel, if that makes sense, or read them in parallel,
right?
In the continuity wise, yeah. So some people took that, and I can understand why. Like that really bothered them when that happened because there was people that followed these books as they came out. So, Shadows of the Empire. Do you play the game as well? I would assume.
I remember playing the Nintendo 64 game when I was a kid. I was not good at it. But I did have a lot of fun, just, playing as Dash Rendar, and just firing the blaster. And I liked I think we got to play if I remember correctly, we got to play the Battle of Hoth.
Yep.
And I could never, get that down. And I just flew my ship and I just crashed into AT-ATs.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I wasn't very good at it either. I was more GoldenEye. That
Yeah.
Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Them were heavily played. Gauntlet Legends was another epic game. So when did you start going down that rabbit hole of like starting to want to collect all these books now?
Well, how I met the Geeks Addict was I helped him. He was looking for one more Legends or a novel for his expanded universe collection. It was a paperback of the Revenge of the Sith, and he just I subscribed to his channel and I was kind of following his vlogs trying to find it, and like he went to all these stores and couldn't find it, and one day I found it at a store, and like at that point he invited me on his channel once, and I said, hey man, I found this book, I'd like to donate it to your channel. And then I started collecting a few that I wanted to, like, I mostly started off, I got Kenobi and the Han Solo books, and then I started, kind of making my way to the Old Republic. And then, Matthew was like, hey, are you gonna collect all the Legends novels? I'm like, I don't think so. I think I'll just kind of stop here and everything. And then I just kind of kept collecting more and more. And then he kept throwing my words in my face. Like, I thought you weren't collecting all these. I'm just like, I'll stop here. And then I just kept collecting more and more and more. And then this turns like, well, I got them all. So
that's impressive because a lot of folks don't. I don't have them all yet. I'm still working on it. Do you have them all in, I believe, well, I know, but you have them all in soft cover, right? Majority. Or you prefer soft cover?
Yeah, the majority of them are in paperback. I do have some hardcovers. Like I have Dawn of the Jedi in hardcover, and I have Crucible in hardcover because that was one that I bought several years back. I saw it at Hastings, and I'm just like, oh, cool, a Star Wars book. So I collected it, and I never got around to reading it, but I always held on to it, and I kind of like in my bookshelf, I like to use them as like bookends, kind of like the start and the end.
Yeah.
And, but I do have the Clone Wars novelization in hardcover. But for the most part, yeah, I got some canon books that are hardcover as well. But, for the most part, my Legends is paperback.
Okay. Yeah. Does it bother you about the Legends banner at all?
No.
No. Yeah. No. Right.
I personally kind of like it.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of expanded universe fans, they're not too crazy about it, but I honestly like it. I think it makes it look a little bit more unique, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, no, I like it too. It's nice to have them all look on the shelf a certain way too. The Essential Legends collections. Like you can kind of see back there. It looks good up there.
Mm-hmm.
I like it to look good.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that quote from the movie The Sandlot, where Babe Ruth is like, "Legends never die." So
yeah, there you go. So you started just getting them all, and I know you've done some book hauls, and I really like them. You got anything new recently?
Yes, I did. I got I went to Barnes and Noble, and I got the Bounty Hunter. I can grab them for you if you'd like.
Sure, yeah, you can show them, yeah.
Yep. 1 sec.
Yep. Yeah, Adam he does a lot of good book hauls on his channel. They're really cool.
Well, I'm going to do an unboxing video of these, but I'll go ahead and show them off here. But
a little sneak peek here.
Yeah. Well, I saw these in Barnes & Noble recently, and I just I especially love this cover, but it's the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy with Boba Fett. And
that's beautiful.
We got him on the side there, and I like the slave one.
Yes, the slave one. Yep. There it is.
Yep. I haven't read these yet, but I'm really excited. I do want to read them. Like, that'd be kind of a cool trilogy to cover at some point.
Yeah, I haven't read them either, and I'd like to.
And then I picked up this one, which I'm assuming was released because of the Kenobi show,
Yeah.
or the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and this has the approaching storm and John Jackson Miller's Kenobi novel, which, by the way, that's really cool that you got to interview him. I'm a little jealous.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, he's a great guy, down to earth, awesome. He's a fan.
Yeah, I'd hope to one day get the chance to, interview one of these authors at some point. That'd just be great. Like, so maybe I might reach out to him, or just there's a couple that I would like to reach out to. I just gotta like, it'd be kind of cool to, get that chance to, get an interview like that. So that's really great that you got to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was fun. And don't, do it. Is there somebody specific that you would like to talk to?
There's a few, but like, I just want I'd like to interview John Jackson Miller at some point. I just need to, like I said, just get the time to, and, just with, work schedules and everything. But yeah, I might, and there's a few others. So I'm just like, it's just kind of like, getting a list down and then seeing what I can do at that point.
Yeah. No, I get it. I understand. And, I didn't realize that they had these kind of collections.
Mm-hmm.
These style books Barnes and Noble's done. My stepdad actually went to a garage sale one day and he came back. He's like, here. And it was that collector edition of the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And he got it for like $2.
Oh, wow.
That's great. I know. It was crazy. I'm like,
which cover was it? Did it have like Darth Vader on it?
Yep.
Vader. Nice. I got the one with R2D2.
Nice.
And it has like the Skywalker lightsaber on the spine of it.
No, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, the Kenobi book. I like the back. It shows both his lightsabers.
Yep.
Like Clone Wars and from like A New Hope. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be doing an unboxing video of these because I like the artwork that they put inside these. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I was telling him when he went to grab them, I said, you have a few different book hauls that you do, and it's really cool. And as fans, I'd like to see it, especially, people, the condition, because a lot of these books they're kind of hard to find,
Yeah, they really are. Like, so there's, I was helping Jeremy from Stupid Chainsaw Productions, who also reviews Legends content. He had a hard time finding let me see if I can find Cross Current, and I found it at a bookstore. Like, I go to like half price books like for most of my Legends material, because like I got it for like $3 or $4 each. Yeah. So but yeah, like when I found that, like that was kind of like our thing for a while. Is like we'd find books that each other was wanting and just ship them to each other, and then Jeremy helped me with a lot of the new Jedi Order series.
Yeah.
And he sent me like a couple of X-Wing books as well, and I got one from Matthew. So
that's cool. Yeah. The half price books is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great. I got one like an hour and a half away, and sometimes I get down there. Otherwise, I have them checked, because you could get them really cheap compared to like on eBay what some of these books go for.
Yeah.
Especially the hardcover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's what Jeremy's saying, is like he wanted to get all of the Legends books in hardcover, but some were only printed in paperback, from my knowledge. And I think recently he went to this place where you can get custom books made, and he got some custom hardcovers of the ones he
really wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I was going to switch to just collecting paperback, but then it's like, well, I kind of like the bigger font, but I also like the Essential Legend style that they're coming out with, that trade paperback, bigger, plus the font's a little bigger. So that's cool. But I think I just might get hardcovers of books that are like my favorite, like I recently just got picked up Mall Lockdown hardcover in really great shape.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was happy. And I did it off of one of the Facebook sites, like a book where people put, and the person sent me this as well to go with it. So
Galaxy of Fear. Those are the ones that are getting hard to find. I still haven't found all of them.
Yeah, so this was inside there with it. So that them folks on there are awesome. And I don't have this. This is my second one. So I was pretty excited. So I wanted to show that and share that with you, because I know you've done some work with the Galaxy of Fear series.
Yeah, I was gonna, review those in October for like Halloween, but
Yep.
just life got in the way, and I'm gonna probably address that in an update video soon. But that's I am wanting to like buckle down this summer and read those, get them reviewed, and then have them ready to post, because I really do want to read those and review them.
Yeah.
But that was just one of the regrets of my channel, that I just wasn't able to get that done when I said I would. So
No, I mean, yeah, that happens. I'm glad you're back, and we're getting you out there, because what your work you do is awesome, man. I'm serious. You got a great voice. The way, and we'll get into it a little farther more, but you just present the material so well, and it's easy to understand, and you've got great points and takes, man, and I appreciate that a lot.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And like, man, you're like your channel is doing great. Like, really fits the bill. And and if it's okay if I do this, if you're watching this video, like, definitely subscribe to this guy. Like, he's definitely gonna go far in the Star Wars YouTube realm.
Thanks. I appreciate that very much, man. It means a lot to me, especially coming from you, since you were one of the ones that I initially talked to. So
I appreciate the kind words as well, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you got all these books, you're reading them, you're going crazy, just like all of us do when we go down that rabbit hole. What about comics? Do you do anything with the comics?
I don't own a lot of them. I have some of the original Marvel comics of Star Wars that came out. A friend of mine from that I knew in a few years back in college, he had this big comic collection, and that he collected when they originally printed, like from whenever he was growing up. And he just was like, "Hey, man, I have all of these comics here," and there was like Marvel, DC, and Star Wars, and he's like, "Do you want them?" I'm like, "Sure." And I thought it was just going to be like a small little box, but no, it was like 2 storage bins full of them.
Man, that must have been like Christmas.
It was, because some of these, like, I don't know if you're into Marvel or DC comics at all, but I know you like Batman. Batman 89. Yep, the best one.
Yes, sir.
Like, some of them was like the original print, like first appearance of Carnage from Spider-Man, and then there was Gambit, his first appearance from the X-Men. And I was just like, I saw this, like, oh my gosh. So I got those like packaged up and everything. So I try and take good care of those.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
I'm not. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say, I'm just kind of getting in the comic book side of things too, but no, go ahead, continue.
As I say, as far as Star Wars comics, I do own the one that I wanted to get. Like, when I heard that Disney was releasing new films, was one that my brother read. It was the Dark Empire trilogy.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was like, I remember reading that. I want that. And I found them, they're kind of buried over there, but I found them one at Half Price Books, and I found one of them online. And I read it and I reviewed it on my main channel. I might do a re-review or revisit at some point. But yeah, the one comic that I know for sure I want to read is the Legacy comics.
Oh, yeah. I hear they're really good.
Yeah, I've been trying to collect them, but it's just too pricey.
Oh, yeah, sir.
I don't want to get them digitally, but I might have to. Like, I hope that at some point they'll release, like, if they haven't already. I checked it. I know they have some Epic collections.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure if they released omnibuses for you, so I'll have to double check.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm getting the Epic collections, and I am into the Marvel side of things, not so much the comics. Like, I just did a whole watch through of all the movies, like in order, and that was cool. But I picked up the Morbius omnibus. Nice. That once that movie came, I had no idea about that character. So when I seen the movie, and then it's like, oh, it's a comic thing. So I got that relatively cheap. But nice. Like you were saying, the Star Wars, like, yeah, they're crazy expensive, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would like to read the Dark Empire. Like, I've heard great things about it, but I don't have nothing. I don't have any material for it,
Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out for you. I know Half Price. I found them at Half Price. One of them at Half Price anyway. So if I ever find one, be happy to send it your way.
I appreciate that. That. Yeah. So you got all the books, and I know you're into a bunch. You're into a lot of different fandoms as well as I am. You know, you like Jaws. You're a big Jaws guy. I know you're in the movie thing too. You know, '89 Batman, Michael Keaton. But now, did you watch the new Batman at all with Robert Pattinson?
I did.
Would you real quick? What's your thoughts on that?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great take on, you know, Batman. I like the detective noir style they went with it, and it was very much like, I don't know, just whenever I'm kind of like really picky whenever I like when it comes to like representation of Gotham City, like because I grew up on the '89 Tim Burton universe. Like whenever you first see that, like it's really dark and yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just you're right. It just it hits you a certain way when you see that. You know?
And then yeah, like with the new one, whenever they first showed Gotham, just like there it is. But I thought it was great, and I heard that they're starting to discuss like the sequel and everything, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I thought Robert Pattinson. I like Robert Pattinson. And he's a good actor. Thought he did a great job. The Batman was like it reminded me of the old feel. You know, the only thing I had that I felt about it was that it was just a little bit too long for me.
I do agree. I kind of felt like there a couple parts of it were a little drawn out, and then you know you think the film's about to end, and then you know we get this last like 10-15 minutes,
right?
So
didn't mean to go off on a tangent there, but I recently watched it and I enjoyed it, and I know you're into them kind of films as well. So you wanted to start a channel. You were like, I'm reading these, you know. Do you have any favorite authors real quick out of, you know?
So far for Star Wars, it's James Luceno.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I loved Plagueis. Most honestly, everything that he's written, and I've, you know, said this in my Dark Lord trilogy that, you know, he's yet to disappoint me. I haven't read everything that he's written yet, but he's yet to disappoint me. And like the Rise of Darth Vader was great. It wasn't my favorite of his, so I will say that, but it was still great read, and you know definitely recommend it. And I know that he wrote a couple of books for canon as well. If I remember, I think it's Tarkin he wrote.
Yeah. Yep.
I have not read that one yet, but so I might read that one. You know, mainly because it is James Luceno, and I know that if anybody can tackle like the Empire, the dark side, or just you know, it'd be him.
Yeah, I believe he wrote Labyrinth of Evil as well. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good book. And I was going to say, that's right. Now that you're back, everyone, Red 5 just put out a review of the Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader, and it was great. And I can't wait to reread it again. But so yeah, I wanted to plug that for you too, because it was good to see you back strong with a nice review there.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So you wanted to start a channel now, and Matthew from the Geek Attic kind of helped you, like kind of gave you some thoughts and ideas, and yeah. When did you know that you wanted to, like, have you always had a niche for like reviewing, like you've always wanted to be a reviewer per se?
I mostly started out wanting to review films and maybe do like a vlog here and there, because I really enjoyed watching those videos like from YouTube, and so that's what kind of what I wanted to start out with. But I wanted to read, but then I was asked like, "Hey, you gonna ever like do a book review?" I'm like, I don't know I don't know, but I might. And I read my very first book review. It was on my first channel. It was the novelization to Batman '89, and that you know has like kind of picked up over the years. I think that's like one of my most viewed videos, and that one and that kind of started, you know, me wanting to review books and collect books and everything. So like I enjoyed, you know, seeing the differences from the films, and I also wanted to review comics, and I reviewed a few comics, and I'm going to try to continue that. But I didn't expect to be a book reviewer, but I did like want to review like films, you know, kind of like what you see with like Chris Stuckman or something.
Yeah. And it takes us, like, it's a talent really, because I've tried, like, I just can't do it. You know, like, I don't know how. I understand how the book makes me feel in a sense, and you know, and I could put it into certain words, but like to write a whole script for someone and the way you present it. You know, I don't have that. You have that, and it's awesome.
Well, I got to give kudos to you because like there's in several others, like, because it's what's hard for me is sometimes like sitting in front of a camera and talking about it. I'm trying to work on that, but like because I always trail off. I'll go on like several tangents and everything, and the video would probably be like 15 minutes long, and I'm just like, no, I gotta stay on track and everything, because like my mind just wanders. Like, well, so that's kind of why like I write my notes down and then just kind of sit in front of a microphone and just kind of like record that, so that way I can make sure I'm not just hit my mic.
No.
I'm just so that way I can just kind of make sure that I'm staying on point and not trailing off and everything. So
yeah, no, you do a great job. And I was going to ask you, write notes, because you must have to, like, certain parts that stand out to you or what you want to present to people.
Mm-hmm.
And working in front of a camera it's different. You're not, a lot of people, it doesn't, right off the bat. I struggled with it too, because it's just weird. But now it's like, nah, just let it go. You flow and you present it, and we're having a conversation. It's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that you start off your videos, I like the sound too. You did some sound effect work there too. Like, it sounds good.
Yeah, thanks. I found like on my recording software, I have like a few like sound effects that kind of sound like like sci-fi space type thing, and then I just kind of like altered them a little bit just so that way I can get that one sound. I'm actually thinking about revamping that a little bit, kind of making it a little bit more unique. I'm going to experiment with some things and just see if they work, and if not, then just always go back to the classic.
Yeah. See, now, would it be hard for someone? Now, let me ask you this. This is would it be hard for, like, say you just finished the book, would it be hard to go from doing that to like giving a review with your notes that you have so far?
I mean, not really. Whenever I finish, I try to I take some time to just make sure I got all my notes down, and revisit things if I have to, so I can go for accuracy. And then like the hardest part for me is just I would say the hardest part for me is just making sure that it's like how should I say this, like is like whenever I'm writing my notes down, like I just want to make sure that like it's like accurate.
Yeah.
And so that's why I kind of like just read, like if I have to go back to certain chapters and make sure like like whenever like there was a part that stuck out to me and everything like that, I want to make sure that I'm getting all the facts down as best I could before I go on camera with it.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a perfect. I would do the same. Lately, since I don't have that, I try to just, as soon as I finish the book, I just go and kind of talk about it, how it made me feel, because I'm on that journey in the timeline, just reading from, the Legends timeline and having fun with it. So yeah, I was wondering, because it made me curious to see if somebody could just go boom, right, and take care of it.
I'm not there yet, but I would like to work to get to that point.
No, and you're doing great, and I want to congratulate you. I forgot to mention in the beginning on hitting over 100 subs now, so that's cool.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for being part of this. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I like how you interact, kind of like through YouTube too. Like you have little things that you do, and then you're going to read a certain book. Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're currently reading The Crystal Star, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a journey.
It's interesting. Okay, I was going to add, can you give us, what your thoughts are so far reading it?
It's a little out there so far. I mean, I'm still working my way through it. It's just the chapters are pretty long.
Yeah. No, everyone's got mixed opinions on it, so I'm excited to read it. I want to read it just to see. You got to.
It's I'd probably say one of the more unique novels, but whether that's a good thing or not, we'll find out this Friday.
Yeah.
But it's an adventure.
Yeah.
I'd say it's like it kind of like reading all these other legend stuff and then reading this, it's just kind of like, you know.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, is there a favorite time era that you like? Like, do you like the '90s Bantam era kind of books, or do you like,
So far, my favorite would have to be the Old Republic so far.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll probably change at one point. But it's just, I really enjoyed getting to experience more of the Old Republic because I played the video game like Knights of the Old Republic. Like I got it on my tablet, and it was just I got so intrigued by the story of Darth Revan, and I just started reading some of the other ones like Darth Bane. Like that was a great trilogy, and so far that's been kind of my favorite era.
Yeah, that I would have to say that's mine as well. I mean, I've read some of obviously the '90s Bantam, like the old, you know what I mean? We'll say the older books that came out in the '90s and so on, So I've read some of them, but the Old Republic, that's where I'm at too.
I will say though, the Thrawn trilogy was a nice surprise because I was originally not interested to read Thrawn books because I guess I was just judging a book by its cover, but whenever I saw Thrawn and like the covers, I was like, it doesn't really seem that it doesn't seem like appealing to me. But then I read, I'm just like, why have I not read this sooner?
Yeah, well, they're great. Yeah,
yeah.
I've read, and the same as the Jedi Apprentice or the Jedi Academy trilogy. That was a phenomenal series too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Old Republic, I really liked Revan. I like learning about Malik. All that little stuff. Darth Bane was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Them books are great. Did you pick up the Essential Legends of they reprinted some of them? Did you get any copies?
I had
of
the Darth Bane, and I have not got Revan or Deceived yet, but I am reading Deceived right now. But and not with the haven't had the opportunity to go and collect a lot more lately with the new stuff. But I know that I collected the Darth Bane trilogy, but I haven't got the other ones that were released recently.
No, yeah, because I like to have some books I'll have multiple copies of, just depending on if they come out with the special edition or what have you, the box set or something along them lines.
Yeah, I think the Star Wars books that I have the most of are the original trilogy novelizations, because there's like several different printings of those, and like I have like them individually. I have like two the Barnes and Noble collected one, and I have like a paperback one with like a gold Darth Vader on it, and
that's cool.
And I got some illustrated ones recently, like they're kind of like they're books that have like little illustrations here and there, so those are pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Talking about collecting, do you collect like any figures or any? I know you've had some Lego sets in the past and such.
I do. I don't collect like toys really much anymore. I do have some lightsabers that I've collected. I got the red. I got the blue and green one. Luke's lightsabers. I got Vader's, and I recently took my family to Disney World, and we went to Galaxy's Edge, and I got to build my own custom lightsaber, and I've always wanted a yellow blade, so I got that. And I'm going to be doing a fun little vlog / review of that pretty soon.
Awesome. How was the experience there? How was it?
I'm going to be honest, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of people like their thoughts on canon and everything, but like I don't hate it. It's not my favorite of the two,
right?
But whenever I went, like it was a great experience. Like getting to actually assemble your own lightsaber. It was like kind of like it kind of like makes you, it kind of brings you into that world a little more, and it's just knowing that when you look at it, you turn it on, like you created it.
Yeah, I mean, oh man, it had to be like touching too, or like it hit you in a different way.
The actors did, or the cast members did really good. With the guy who was in charge of like helping us like construct them, everything like it. like he really sold his speech, and then like at one point, they turn on some luminous lights, and Yoda's talking to us and everything, giving us some, I don't know, I really enjoyed how it kind of brought you into the world of Star Wars and everything. And then like when we got to hold them up and just like ignite our lightsabers,
man,
was
that's
pretty
awesome.
fun.
That's epic. I would love to do that. I think that'd be crazy.
I 100% hope that you get to at some point, because I do recommend it.
Did you see it? Was there anybody like walking around, like how, like as you were walking through the place? Was there actors all over?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
we saw, if I remember correctly, we saw some stormtroopers, and I want to say I maybe saw Kylo Ren. I can't remember though, but there were some stormtroopers that were patrolling, and we were like, there's a rebel spy here, like in the midst, and like, just like, has any of you seen them? And I looked at my brother-in-law, I was like, it's this guy. And I got video of that. And he's like, show me your ID. And then like, yeah, I totally sold him out to the First Order.
That's cool. That's awesome. So the other lightsabers that you have, are they like Black Series, FX, or them style?
No, they're like there's some that you can buy at like at a Disney store. Like whenever they announced they were releasing these, I was like, the Black Series and like the FX one was just like a little out of my price range.
Okay.
So I'm just like, these were like $40. I'm like, oh, these aren't bad, and like they're really cool. Like they're just kind of like miniature versions of them. But I got the green one from Disneyland because no other store was selling it except there, and I had to actually have them ship it to my house. But it was worth it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure. No, you don't know special like a Darth Vader Black Series or nothing, statues of anything?
No, the only thing that I do have my Lego sets. I do have this though that I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, Adam, he also collects a lot of different things as well.
Like I have my oh, I'm sorry.
No, when I was just telling him that you collect other things, like you have Batman stuff, and yeah.
I have like my Lego statues that I'm hoping to get assembled pretty soon. I got like an R2-D2 one that my mom got me for Christmas, and she even got me like, it's like a kit that comes with it that makes it light up and beep.
Really?
Yeah, here I'll kind of turn my camera a little bit so you can see it's right there.
Yep, look at that. Yeah, that's big. Them things are expensive, man.
Yeah, that was thanks, Mom.
Yeah, shout out to you. You can tell your mom. I'll give her my address. That Luke land speeder, that's pretty big and a lot of money.
I did used to have Luke's Red 5 X-Wing, and I was hoping to have that more on display, but man, my house got treated for bed bugs, and like they have to like treat the house by raising the heat.
Yeah. Yep.
And it got brittle and just shattered. I'm like, oh, but if I remember correctly, his X-Wing wasn't that expensive, so I could probably, pick it up again.
Find that again, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think how much Legos go for. They're awesome, but it's like, you can invest money into that,
Oh yeah, my dream was to get either the Star Destroyer or the massive Millennium Falcon. Yeah, I used to have a Millennium Falcon one, but again, it got shattered. But
yeah, I think it's like $1,000 or something, maybe more than that for that big one.
Yeah, it's like, but it'd be perfect to like hang on my wall or something like that.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'd have that thing insured.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, we can't move ever.
So
I do have this though. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, sure. Go ahead. I didn't know.
I bought this. It's a Funko. What do they call this? It's a Funko Pop, but it's of Han and Frozen and Carbonite.
That's cool.
Yep, sorry, I'm trying not to get the light in there.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
But I do collect statues. Like I got Godzilla, Spider-Man, and Batman. And so I'm hoping to get like a Darth Vader or Darth Maul would be kind of cool. So
oh yeah, there was a guy recently around my area that he had like a whole room. I seen it on the marketplace, but he had a statue of Darth Vader, and I'm like,
nice.
What do you want for that? Nah, I'm like, well, I don't have 1,500, but I mean, it was a pretty big statue,
I know at that point I'd be like, well, how much to get a picture with it, just to say that I bought it,
Yeah. So on the mix of other things and in the channel, back to the channel, do you have any other plans to do other things with the channel, like besides just reviewing books?
Well, I am planning to. I'm going to start getting back into my discussions. I've posted a few with like Noah from Quality Autism. I posted
Yep.
one with Star Wars Timeline, and I'm wanting to get more people and do like more discussions, kind of like how you're doing, and planning to have you on my channel soon.
Oh, sure.
And as far as that, other than that, I am planning to also. I reviewed the original trilogy films. I like ranking films, so I'm going to do that for the prequels and maybe the sequels and so on. And and then I'm going to kind of I want to like review as much Star Wars I can. Not just books. Like I want to get more into the other games as well, and like the I always get tongue twisted when I say
Cheek with that one, yeah.
the
old three
Tarkovsky's
Yep.
Clone War show. I want to review that, and so, but yep. And as far as books goes, I am planning to review Darth Bane trilogy and Han Solo trilogy this year.
Ooh, nice. You got a schedule here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be really cool to do some discussions because you got a lot of good ideas and topics, especially the one you had with Quality Autism. Noah, that was really good. And Ben from Star Wars Timeline, mutual friend, the other person that got me involved in wanting, inspired me. So
yeah, Ben's a great guy.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I'm excited for that because your work, man, I'm telling you, I'm not just trying to bring you up, but like I feel as soon as we connected, I feel like I knew you for a long time. You come off as a nice, genuine, personable person.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
same man. Same to you.
And I'm honestly glad that you're back because it's cool what you do, and I appreciate it. And I want to say like your reviews are spoiler free for like the most part, and that is awesome.
Yeah, I want to keep kind of a mystery going, so that way, like, I'm wanting to encourage people to like read, these Star Wars books, especially the Legends, since they're still producing canon books, but the Legends, as far as I know, there's no plans for them to continue. So like, I'm like, oh man, you guys got to check these out. But I'm trying to keep them as spoiler free as possible, so that way, to get people interested, to find out, so that way they can read them on their own.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why I'm glad that they're kind of reprinting them, getting them out there for new eyes and such, because I remember seeing a lot of these books in the bookstores and stuff on shelves, but like you just didn't really, you know what I mean? Like it was slim. It's like over time, bookstores just kind of started to diminish. I don't really have many in my local area at all. It's unfortunate. So yeah, being able to read. And I'm excited for your review on the Crystal Star. I just want to say that I really want to hear what you have to say about that. I just keep thinking about that. But you mentioned the old 3 Clone Wars. I recently just watched them. I mean, what's your thoughts on them?
The original,
yep.
The original, I loved it. Like because I remember back whenever in between the Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones, like Tartakovsky's was like that was it, and just like it was, I just liked how well it was. Like I love the art animation style. Like one of my favorite scenes was the fight between Anakin and Ventress, and it was just you can kind of just just kind of, it just feels like it flows right into like Revenge of the Sith. And I think if I remember correctly, like it started off with them, or it ended with them going to find the Chancellor, and I was just like, it's like when you watch that and you watch Revenge of the Sith, like it just feels connected. Like
connected.
Yeah,
that's a good point, because I recently watched them for the first time ever, and I was like impressed. Like you said, that fight scene, and then even Mace Windu really stood out to me in it too, because he was just doing his thing,
Yeah, I liked how he clobbered through all those droids without his lightsaber. It was just the guy's a boss. Yeah.
And you mentioned that you on your tablet. You got KOTOR. Right? You play that regularly?
I used to. I haven't had the time to do it, like with kids and everything.
Yeah.
But I played through it twice, and
Okay.
it was whenever I first started it. It was the controls were a little weird because like playing it on a tablet, like you have to put your finger on the tablet and just kind of like guide it around like that, and you just kind of have to keep tapping and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. I still enjoyed it though. Like I love like world roaming stories, like when we go to the different planets. I love all the side missions you can do, and it was and like it was very much a strategy game because like you had to like pick certain lightsaber combat moves and everything, and just kind of for me it was just like you kind of just the struggle is you had to like save right before you faced a big boss, and then like I remember like facing at the end when I had to face Darth Malik, I had to like save right before I did that, so that way like I would be at a certain strength and advantage to where I could strategize if I died, like I can go back and how I could beat him.
Cool. Yeah, I never played much. Like I knew about the game. Some of my friends played it, but I didn't when it came out. It wasn't. I was heavily addicted to Diablo 2 and
Hmm.
Final Fantasy 7. 8, 9. I played them over and over again. So I never really played much of that. Like I played the original Battlefront
Hmm.
and Battlefront 2
Yep.
on PC, and that was a blast. Like
Oh yeah.
that was so fun. That game was incredible.
Yeah, I'm glad I used to own Battlefront 2, but then I think I gave it to a friend thinking not thinking much of it. And whenever it started, like people were like raving about like, oh, I gotta find me a copy. And then I was lucky to find a copy for like $20. And I just Battlefront 2 is I loved it. Like
Yeah, it was like the perfect game.
hmm
Like it was put together really well. It flowed.
hmm
I mean, online multiplayer was a blast. You know.
My roommate in college, he had he and my two roommates. They had this. It was a Star Wars class that was just kind of like a class to go to in between like semesters. It was like the religion of Star Wars, and uh, their homework. And I'm kind of sad I didn't take this class myself, but their homework was, read the films, read the films, watch the films, read the books, play the games, do whatever, but just like write a paper after that, like based on like like and based on the like of that. So he was like asking me if I had any Star Wars games. I gave him like the Revenge of the Sith PS2 game. He's just like, this is okay. Like, oh hey, I forgot I have this one too. And he goes, he just like shot up. He's like, give me that.
That's awesome, and that's cool to have a class like that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I wish I took it. Like I kind of kicked myself that I didn't.
Yeah, well, it is what it is now. Well, we could start our own class. How's that?
That works for me.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be fun. So, you played the Force Unleashed as well?
Hmm.
Yeah. What did you think of that game? Everybody kind of loves that game in a sense, but like the story, you know.
I definitely like the story. I thought it was like I played the Force Unleashed one a lot. Like I played it on repeat a lot, and it got to that point where, again, my roommates were like, "Dude, play something else, please." But I don't know. I loved it. I liked,
Star
I
Killer.
and like I said, I know that I do see that like the complaints with it that he's just like very OP.
Yeah.
Like just you could beat most of the levels just by doing the force push, and but I really did enjoy it. And the Force Unleashed 2 was a disappointment. I like the graphics and I like this lightsaber combat, but it was just too easy.
Yeah.
And not very long. So
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've never played it, and I know we've had that conversation before because I know you reviewed it and such.
mhm.
And I read that book. But I just remember like I really enjoyed the story, but then
Mhm.
it just felt like it just kind of got repetitive. Like he's sending them
Yeah.
off this planet to kill this Jedi and then back and then send, you know what I mean? So it's just kind of, but like Star Killer, you
He's
know? Yeah. I mean, and Sam Witwer does a great job. Do you do any audiobooks?
Do I listen to them?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Have you listened to, I know a lot of people are talking about the Shadowhunter that just got with Sam Witwer voiced it. Have you?
I do own that one. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's one that I'm also planning to review this year, and I'm kind of blessed at work to where I can, listen to a lot of audiobooks.
Yeah.
So that's really helping, like, get some of these books, like, getting some of these books finished. That way I can get reviews out and everything. So yeah, and I do have Shadowhunter.
That's good. Good to know. So you can read multiple books at a time, or read and listen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I for my other channel, I've already read over like 12 books this year.
Jeez, Adam.
Yeah, I've read a lot of they've been releasing a lot of the Marvel novels, like Titan books has. I've been reading through those, like just plowing through them, and I really enjoy them. And I've read some I'm starting some Star Wars ones, and it's just, and on top of that, I had to for paper movies, I listened to Indiana Jones one recently, so I've been kind of busy.
No, that's good though. It's good. Some people can do that. I've asked that to a few different folks that's been on, because it's like there's other books I'd like to read, but some say, well, you shouldn't read the same genre. You should read, a fantasy book. You could probably read a fantasy book and a Star Wars book, But sometimes it's hard for me to put the book down that I'm reading. So I can imagine that's got to be tough for you.
I mean, it's being in a position where I review different genres or franchises, it can get a little much, but it's not to the point where I can't handle it. So that's good at least. And it's just, I've been doing very well, not, getting the stories like mixed up and everything. Like,
no, you do great, because I want to do that, but I probably can't, because I don't have that like little niche, So how do you have a schedule set? Like, okay, this month I'm gonna work mostly on Red 5, then we're doing over at the paper movies.
Well, for this month, like I do, like I'm mostly like, for this day, I'm going to work on this channel. On this day, I'm going to work on Red 5 and just get some work done. And then what's the great thing about paper movies is that we only do that normally once a month.
Yeah.
And unless we read something and we do single cuts, and that's just kind of at our own convenience, and we just post them to our Anchor account where people can listen to it. It's just kind of like a book review, but in audio form. And the scheduling hasn't gotten, hasn't been too much of a mess, but there's times, it does, like, okay, well, I got to get this review up at this time, or wait, okay, I can't do that because paper movies is tonight and everything. But it's been improving, on that end lately.
Yeah. It's good. I want to ask you some fun stuff now. I'm getting a couple fun things here. What type of character would you be in the world of Star Wars, in the galaxy?
Well, I would want to be Han Solo.
Okay,
but
so a smuggler type of,
kind of a hothead and everything.
Yeah.
But realistically, I kind of saw myself more like Luke at one point, just because not Luke, Qui-gon. There we go.
Okay.
Because one, I'd love to have a beard like that, or like hair and a beard like that, and I do respect that he wants to do what is right, despite like what the Jedi Council things, like, yeah, no, let's do it this way. He's just like, nope, doing it this way because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, well, that's a good topic there too. How do you feel about that? Like the Jedi, like their ways, the code.
I do agree that Qui-Gon's, even the Sith, like in some of these books that I've read, they just keep talking about how they're corrupt and misguided, and I think, and they're arrogant, and honestly, they like from all the stories that I've read, you see hints of that. Like they're very flawed, and like I think that's kind of like in the end, that's like what led to their undoing. But like, and they, it seems like it's a. I do like appreciate how they always try to do what's right, even when it's contradictory. Like
Yeah.
even Luke, was trying to do the right thing. Like in the Last Jedi, whenever he like even though he saw the flaws and all the Jedi and thought that it was time for it to end, like in the end he still they still try to fight for the little guy.
Right. And as I'm reading through the timeline here in the material, like like there's things that we don't. Most fans just know the franchise for the movies, and not.
Mhm.
But there's a big community of lovers for the books. But like reading through it, like even Obi-Wan's had moments in where he's like question, like you don't see that on the side in the movies, but in the books he was like, yeah, maybe this attachment thing is an issue.
Mhm.
Not being able to have a relationship.
Mhm.
And even Anakin right now, like he's struggling more. It's showing that as I'm reading this, like he's having nightmares a lot more. His mom's brought up a lot. Qui-Gon is mentioned, in the books post Phantom Menace. They reach back into that. And I kind of agree that that's one thing I don't like about the code is they can't have attachments.
Right.
I mean, if you go back to the Old Republic,
I mean, Revan was married.
he was married and doing his thing.
Mhm.
So I feel like I like that style of the Jedi as well. Is Qui-Gon your favorite character?
Yes, he's one of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's one of mine too. I can remember the first time, that because that's you get to see Jedi in the prequel movies, and that's cool, and Liam Neeson can pull that hair and that beard off 100%.
Yep. And yeah, Liam Neeson, like he owned that role. And I remember reading the Phantom Menace novelization, and I really, I liked his character a lot in that as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was a good book.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Terry Brooks did a great job with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Great job. So besides that, back to the topic, what would you be named? What would your name be?
Oh, well, whenever I went with the name Bryad, because there was this meme that says like that showed like here's how you name your Star Wars name. You take a few letters from your last name, mix them with a couple letters of your first name. So that's just kind of what I was like. I'll just go by Bryad, and just kind of a mix of my name. So
I like it. It. Sounds like it too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How about you?
Trax Bowden would be and I'd be a Jedi.
Nice.
Jedi, yeah.
That's a great name.
Thank you. Yeah. It was Bowden was a character or a name I used on all my characters, like in Final Fantasy games and stuff growing up. And then Traxxas was the name of my first World of Warcraft character.
Oh, nice.
So I just cut it, to Trax. So
I have never once played those games, and like my roommates have played them, and the Geek Static has reviewed some of their books, but I've seen them and they look pretty fun because I know they're like they're free roaming type games, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And interactive, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, role playing. Yeah, it's open world. Some of them. World of Warcraft. I mean, that's just like the online MMO now for Star Wars. You could spend an hour and not do, what I mean, and not really do anything in them kind of games. So it's hard for guys with kids like because I'd love to play the online MMO of Star Wars. But so yeah, I wanted to know. A lot of people kind of stumps them. They're not sure what their name. So Bryad, I like that. That's good. Do you have? Is there a last name or is it just Bryad?
It's just Bryad.
Bryad.
Yeah. So I've experimented with some last names, but they always just sound weird. So I just kind of just stuck with Bryad.
Yeah, I like it.
I think at one point, like I did Bry as my first name and Ada as my last name, so Bryada or something.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So, and I was gonna say your favorite lightsaber color.
Yellow.
Yellow. Yeah, that's what I would assume. Yeah, because you got to. How was that, by the way? Did they give you like a little crystal
Well,
in there?
they the sad part is they only give you some set colors. Like they give you red, green, blue, or purple. And I was like, well, I like yellow. Is there any way I can, do that? They're like, well, unfortunately, we can't do that during the demonstration and the build. And I was like, oh, may I ask why? And they're like, well, because we've had, people like, but go buy the crystal, like they'd buy like a different color and then bring it into the demonstration. And then whenever, they would ignite them, people been getting mad, be like, well, why, how come he got that? I wanted that color or something. So they're just trying to give like some base colors to where to kind of make it fair. And so I had to buy the yellow crystal afterwards. And then once I got it shipped to my house, and my wife wanted like a Ahsoka, the clear.
Yeah.
So we bought the crystals and we had them sent to our house. And once we got our sabers, we I just inserted them. And I was wanting to make a real cool point on this, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, each of the crystals, and I didn't find this out until I replaced them. They are like I think they have coded in them different sound effects.
Really?
Yeah, so like I got purple originally, and like whenever I lit it up, it kind of sounded similar to like Darth Vader's lightsaber, like whenever that little dark zoom, But like whenever I put the yellow one, it kind of sounded like Luke's lightsaber.
That's cool.
Yeah, and when I put in my wife's white crystal, it kind of it sounded like Ahsoka Tano's. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was actually really really cool, and I know that I think some saber companies kind of do something similar with that as well.
That's that's pretty neat. Yeah, I'm curious. I have the Black FX series Luke's lightsaber pre-ordered, and this will be my first one ever that's a a real expensive one.
Thinking about it, I did actually have a FX one at one point. I forgot about it because it was the blue one, the Luke's blue one. It broke.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, like I kept trying to light it and it just would go psst, and I couldn't get it to work. And I tried contacting people, but I was like, well,
oh man,
I'm at $150. So
yeah. Well, I hope I don't have that problem. And I'm sorry that happened, man.
Oh, thank you. I think I may have just bought a defective one. So as far as I know, it hasn't happened to a lot of people from what I looked up. So should be good.
Cool. Yeah. I was curious about that whole putting the crystal in there and how they did that. And that's really cool. They did that and shipped it to your house, if you ask for it. So that's cool that they seem like they want to make it a great experience for you. I didn't mean to jump back into the Disney, but
you're good.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, it was great. They it was worth it was a gift from my mother-in-law. Like she got sabers for me, my wife, and my brother-in-law, and it was just it was a great experience and it was worth it. And the only thing is she was upset she didn't get a lightsaber because she was watching my daughter. And but eventually my brother-in-law ordered her a Darth Maul lightsaber that I think also changes colors. So
that's awesome. Cool. And that's cool that your whole family's into it. That's awesome. Because now you can bring your kids up with it too, and they're going to grow up with their certain specific movies, trilogy, what have you in the future here. Do you think they're going to come out with some new movies soon?
I've heard, talks about new movies.
Yeah.
I know that they're, the last I checked, and it was a while ago, but I know that they're wanting to make a High Republic film, like called The Acolyte, I think.
Yeah.
They're also, I think this one got scrapped. They were wanting to do a Rogue, an X-Wing.
Yep. Yeah, that got put on the shelf.
But I heard talks of like another trilogy.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit too, but
I mostly take these with a grain of salt until I see a trailer.
Yeah. Well, yeah, same here. And I try not to, pay too much attention, for people leaks. That's, putting leaks out there. That's a big thing. Like you mentioned, the Acolyte. Yeah, it's like before, it's in the middle. It's about the Sith and how they infiltrated you know what I mean? So that kind of seems, and I don't know how they're going to do that, with the timeline, especially from the expanded universe. And now we're talking, because that's kind of a gray area. So yeah, I mean, I just don't like to see leaks, and the trailers I'll watch, but like all the people trying to post stuff, I try to limit myself to that, because
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I want it to be an experience.
I agree. Lately I've just been kind of trying to avoid trailers altogether, just because lately some trailers are just giving away the whole film.
Yeah.
And you can already predict what's going to happen. And if it's a movie that I'm excited but not like too excited about, I'll watch the trailer. But if it's like a highly anticipated one, I want to go into it as blind as possible.
Yep. 100%. So let me ask you this. How has Star Wars impacted your life?
It's a huge impact, honestly. And even like when I was taking a break from YouTube and everything like that, it like people were just like, and I told them off like, yeah, I haven't read a Star Wars book in a while. I've been taking a break. They were like, what? Like so shocked by like, they're like, you're normally always doing something with Star Wars. Like, yeah, I need to, help with, family and focus on work for a minute. And, but it was, once I finally got back into it, it was a very, welcoming feeling. And Noah actually posted he and Magneto Alex posted like Star Wars EU YouTuber ranking videos recently, which I don't know if you watch those, but congrats. They ranked you as like one of the higher ones. So
yeah, I see. I listen to them guys. I like both of them. Alex is great. Noah's great. Yeah, they did that. I blew me away. I was literally,
it blew me away too, because I was expecting to like, since I haven't posted in a while, they were like this, like I was expecting like somewhere near the bottom and everything, but like no, it's like, oh, I was like, that was very surprising, and that really did help. And once getting back into it, I'm just like, it's good to be back. Like I can't imagine um not doing anything Star Wars related. It's just it's a great story, and I'm just glad to be getting back on that track.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you hit a good point there, man. There's this community of people is just awesome. Everyone that I've talked to so far, I consider a friend, and I try to stay in contact. Everyone's great. The passion, that they talk about it gives us conversations, like endless conversations, really. Because we're talking now, and then we can talk tomorrow and trail off on a whole other type of and it's great. And you were ranked up there, man, because you present yourself so well, and it's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Right? You're like the big teddy bear of Star Wars, and I mean in a sense, like that's the vibe I get, brother. And I mean that from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like
no, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
And it's just, yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just really, truly excited and honored to have you on here today.
Well, I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much. And again, man, like I remember when you messaged me saying that, like, hey man, I'm going to start a Star Wars show. I'm like, oh, hey, great, man. Just send me the link and I'll subscribe. And just like from that's been like a few months ago, seeing you now, like past 100 subscribers and get to review all these people, like, especially getting your wife involved and everything. Like, I know you've interviewed John Jackson Miller, Meg Reviews, and Star Wars Timeline Noah. It's just, the channel that you're building is great. And, you're going to go far, man.
Thank you. Yeah. I just want to be a positive influence and everybody that puts time and effort into this, and the things they do, whether it's reading and reviewing or creating a timeline or, breaking down the comics. It's just, it takes effort. in time, and we all come together, and it's awesome. Like it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is, and it's worth it. And I'm just, and I mean, I just want to say thanks, for listing me as your references. I was like, I was, or like as your influences. I was just, that's an honor, and I'm glad to know that your channel is taking off. I know sorry it took me so long to come on your channel. I was always planning to, like I said, life gets in the way, but it's just, but it does mean something knowing that, like, it means a lot, saying, I mean, I'm humbled. So
yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm just happy. I'm happy you're back. I'm glad we got to do this. I'm glad we got your story from the New Hope to your brother getting you into the books, to your family experiences, to your collecting, to your friend Matthew helping you get the books. It's awesome hearing that. I'm glad we got to talk about all that today and we got to share. And I wanted to just say congratulations again.
Oh, thank you.
And
you as well. Thank you.
And I'll put the link to your channel down below. I'll put the paper movies link down below too, because I want to plug that, because you do great there. All you guys over there do great. So we'll get that on there. Is there any final words that you want to say?
Not much, but I just again wanted to say thank you again for having me on, and for the shout out and everything. And again, congratulations on all the success with your channel. It's just can't wait to see where it's going. And again, just be on the lookout for the Crystal Star coming this week. And since I normally end my videos with this, I'll do it here. Be like, this is Red 5 standing by.
That's right. Yes, sir. And again, go subscribe to this guy. I'll put him down below. If you like what I'm doing, hit the like button, subscribe, share, tell your friends, your family, your grandmother. Mine watches. She'll probably try to call you later with the CB, but that's it, folks. Red 5 reviews. Check them out. And until next time, see you soon.